to TorontoTalkShow.ca. I just want to welcome Evangeline Cain.
We're discussing your book as we walk, and I would like to know, how did you come up with the title?
When I was writing the book, I felt that I was in a stage in my life where I was headed on a journey and I was walking, and I didn't know where it led, but I knew that I had to be strong, and I knew that I had to hold my ground, and the vision that I saw, I had to move towards it. And so as I was writing the book, I felt I had a lot of names in mind. And then I was like, as she walked, I was like, it felt empowering to me. It felt like it described a woman's walk to self-love and understanding herself.
So are you trying to tell me that this book that you wrote, As We Walk, ooh, let's see there. It's more of a self-help book?
It is. It's a self-help book. It has 30 days of devotions. Each day you are asked a question that we wouldn't normally ask ourselves, and then we get to write the answer. And my goal in doing that is to assist women in understanding themselves, finding acceptance through whatever they're experiencing in their everyday life,
Okay.
and helping them come to terms with whatever's coming up for them, which is why I chose several different goddesses, because I felt like they were the guiding light to the women who are walking on a path.
Are the goddesses after anybody in your life, or are they just made up characters?
No, I chose goddesses that are Greek mythology. In the 16th century, goddess Yemya, Aphrodite, Hera, and all kinds of beautiful goddesses. They all had a story that resonated with me. And I studied them and I transformed their story into something that is relational to women today. For example, goddess Hera, she was the type of woman who was in love with a man who had several different girlfriends. And as we experience life, many women can say that they've experienced the same thing. So
we know some of those men and some of those goddesses that have gone through those situations, for sure. Definitely.
So I used her experience and related it to women today, and many other goddesses that resonate with me.
Which one is your favorite goddess?
In this particular book, I really like goddess Yemya.
Okay. And is there why?
I like her because she is a beautiful goddess who came to light in the 16th century as well. She was from Africa, and she was called Mother of the River. She was the goddess who would hear the cries of Black slaves, and she would go pick them up under her arm, and she would swim with them and bring them back to safety. She was called Mother of the Earth because she would hear echoes of people crying, and she would hear slaves, and she would go grab them and protect them and bring them all back to safety. And I thought that that was very, very powerful. I felt that a lot of goddesses were talked about, but this beautiful Black Caribbean goddess had not been spoken about a lot. And so I wanted to bring her to light. She was the woman who created the seven.
Very powerful.
She created the 7 wonders. She had a baby, and while she was giving birth, her water was so large, I would say, so grand, that she created the 7 wonders. And so her domain was the water and protecting all of the Black people who were trapped in caves, or she just protected them all, and she would grab them. And I thought it was really cute that she would put them in her arm, even grown people, and she would smuggle them in boats. And if she didn't have enough boats on her, she would carry them with her and bring them back to safety. And she was also considered a mermaid.
Oh, interesting. So I have a question before we dive. Tell me a little bit about your background, because you wrote a self-help book. and it's as you described it before, an exercise book, so people could physically write in it. Tell me about your background that led you to this.
Um, Several years ago, I was on a journey, and I woke up one day and decided I wanted to be a life coach. And, you know, a week later, I end up going to Toronto, went to Edler University to study life coaching. I'm not sure what led me to that, but as I was life coaching people and they were coming to me and revealing to me certain things that they were going through, I could feel a lot of hurt in them. I could feel a lot of pain just pulsating through them, just hearing their story. And then as I was doing life coaching, I decided that I wanted to write because I felt like there was people that needed a lot of direction. And I didn't think I was a miracle writer, but I felt like I had something to say. And I wanted to create self-help books for those in life who were struggling, or this book really touches base on people seeing themselves for who they are and not denying what they are going through, which a lot of times people do out of shame or embarrassment.
Yeah.
And so I really wanted them to come into a place of acceptance. And that's why I use the goddesses, because they went through so much and they left a legacy of stories for us to dwell in and to love, you know. And I wanted to bring that to light so that other people can see they weren't, their vision wasn't left behind just because they were beautiful. Their vision was left behind because of the things that they went through that left a mark on humanity. And so that's what I wanted to create with this book.
That's
And the way
excellent.
that you wrote it too, you also left marks where you could write down. And I find that when you actually write something down, it means something more to you than if you just actually read it. You actually own it and you live up to it, and you strive for it, or it makes you see things in a different way. Like it's as simple as it is, like when you were younger and you write the good things and the bad things. Well, when you write it out, it actually makes sense to just say it out loud. So I like how you actually put the little activities in there where you could draw, where you could write, where you could just jot down whatever you need to just to get it out of your system, what you're feeling in that moment. Like that I think
Get it out of your system.
different.
And also
For me, I felt it's powerful to just read a book, but it feels more powerful when you read the book and you say, I am beautiful, you know, I am spectacular, I am going to make it, because you're speaking into the universe. Yeah, you're speaking into the universe what you know you can have, opposed to just, you can just read a book and put it down. But when you actually infuse those, you know, beautiful lines into you and you own it and you then project it, that is more powerful to me than just reading a book.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I'm going to touch on your book for those who order your book, because I think it's really a great tool to focus on if you want some direction. Now, it's a very thin book and it's 30 days. It's geared for 30 days. Can you tell me if there's other book follow-up or before this book? And if there's any order?
Yes. So the first book that I ever wrote was Goddess Fly Away. Okay. And this is about a woman who's flying away, you know, with herself, just letting go. And I'm very big on acceptance, because in my life, I found my biggest struggle was always accepting myself or wanting to change certain aspects of myself to fit in. And so I write from a place of what I've experienced. And so that's how Goddess Fly Away came to be. Unfold Your Petals is my second book, which is being transformed. It's going to be bigger than what it is now. And this book is about touching base on Aphrodite, the goddess, and her vision to life. I was online one day and I read a story how she was married to a man and he wasn't very romantic. And she found herself in a lot of romantic situations to receive the love that she never got from him. And so she would go to a rock every day and she would cry all the time. And then one day she decided something different. She decided she was going to not just cry at the rock, she was going to actually pray to God. And as she was crying and praying to God, out of nowhere, the waves swifted over a rose under her feet. And she heard the voice from God that said, I love you and you are protected. And so as I read this story, I thought it was very beautiful. And I researched it more and I changed everything to be in my words. And then I created this very beautiful story out of the pain that she felt, the loneliness that she felt, the need for more that she felt, and really coming into terms with self-love for who we really are. I really like to touch base on that with books. And then my other two books is The Queen's Mansion Academy and As She Walked, and they were both published the same month. And
wow, you're busy.
yes, the
Very,
Queen's
very
Mansion Academy is a very different outlook than all my other books, because my other books focus on the goddess, and it has a structure. They have 7 to 8 goddesses in each book, and I describe their story and how we as women can relate to them. The Queen's Mansion Academy does not have any goddesses in it. It is an exercise book that's very in depth. It covers a lot of different topics, such as femininity, embracing love, and understanding a good relationship. And it asks us questions about what the perfect guy would look like to you. If he walked up to you today, what would he smell like? And it gets you prepared. Perfect love.
So
And
it's like a vision board.
when he shows up for you, you're going to know exactly who he is and what he wants, because a lot of times in relationships, we know we want something, but we're not quite sure what we want. This book will give you a breakdown of every single thing you want. It expresses femininity. The Queen's Mansion Academy has recipes that are passed down from other queens. It teaches agriculture. It teaches all the different colors that women represent. Like if you're into brown, what does that describe as your personality? If you're a person who loves purple, what does that say about your personality? Different ways to decorate your home to feel more elegant. As a queen, it teaches etiquette. It teaches so many different things that is so totally from my other 3 books. But this is a workbook that is really in depth and will help you with many different things in your life.
Excellent, excellent. So I have a quick question. So who would really benefit from As We Walk? Would it be a troublesome person or somebody that needs some guidance, or somebody's already on their way and they're like, well, let me restructure and see if my path is, if I'm on the right path? Who do you think would truly benefit from As She Walks? Sorry.
I feel that the audience is for a woman who is trying to come into grips with who she is and finding acceptance for herself. I believe that it is for women who are maybe have been powerful in a past and might have lost some self-confidence, but is ready to connect with that part of herself that has been lost.
Mm-hmm. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you, I know you went in depthly just now explaining the different goddess and what they do, and how you come about to put their instruction with your twist on things into this novel, self-help book. But is there any other different focus area that you can say, well, once they read this area, this should actually direct them? Or is it just, I guess it would be an individual take on that, eh?
I believe that it's an individual take because there's several different goddesses, and I believe that each goddess will connect with each woman's heart individually. It's like Goddess Rhea. She was married to a man who killed all of her kids, and she was heartbroken about that, and she felt a lot of guilt. And You know, she didn't feel good about that. And there's a lot of women in life who have lost their kids or have felt like they are just not good mothers. Now, if you're not a mother, that might not resonate with you, but it might bring comfort to you in certain areas in your life that are similar.
Yeah, there's no book out there on how to raise a kid or what to do or what not to do. Like, it's just kind of a go at the moment.
Yes. And so that book will help you find comfort in those moments. I created this beautiful story in there about how a swan came over, and she was, the swan was carrying her children, and she got to have a talk with them, something that she's been needing to find closure because she's been feeling, you know, very bad inside herself about the fact that she couldn't change the fact that her husband killed her kids. She felt like she could have did more. And because she didn't, she lived with so much regret. And that book, that specific chapter brings a lot of healing to people who have lost their kids. And what I try to do with the book is take several different scenarios that women go through, because we all go through similar experiences. We just experience a different ending.
And I find
Very
women,
true.
they
That is
hold
very
on to the
true.
negative feelings too. They hold on to the negative a lot more, and they don't know how to let go. A lot of women beat themselves up every day and go to bed at night and stay up all night long, where men, they're tired, they kind of sleep. They really don't think about things as much as women do. Like, yeah.
Oh, they do. They think
I
about it as
would
much as us,
agree.
but they express it in a different way. A
Yeah.
man can feel upset about something and walk around and not talk about it. He just kind of deals with it internally. But masculine and feminine energy are totally different. So a woman will express it outwardly through crying and talking and expressing, and a man will deal with his heartbreak through manifesting things or working on different things to try to avoid it. But for women, it's not that easy because we are not designed anything like men. So whatever they are, we are the opposite.
Yeah.
Yin and yang, yin and yang.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. The thing is, with men, since we're talking about men for a quick second, um, they're taught from a young child to be this tough person. So for
Mm-hmm.
them to be have a feminine trait, I don't say that right proper, but to have that soft feminine trait, they don't really broadcast that. You know what I mean? So maybe they do go to the room and cry or whatever, but we have to allow men to be soft in that way and accept it when it comes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, every man and every woman has masculine and feminine energy in them. I mean, as a woman, when we are working like crazy, that is a demonstration of our masculine energy, because masculine energy is doing, it's pursuing, it's action. Feminine energy is more about receiving and allowing and accepting. And so inside of each of us, we all have masculine and feminine energies, and there's times that men do, you know, have those feminine energies. But from my personal experience, I believe that men only express that in safe environments.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the start of your book. It says, besides the chapters, chapter one, and then it dives into chapter two, chapter three. I really like that. And you've got some pictures, some motivational pictures, and some blank pages with where the intention is for them to do the exercise and write.
Yes.
And I've had some devotionals in my time, and I must say I really like this one. The pictures is a really fabulous touch too, because there's nothing like reading something and writing, but when you see the pictures, it gives a little zim, a little bit more of an emotional connection, and you know,
I'm
uh,
a very creative person, and everything I do, I like to do it, you know, very feminine and be very pretty. And there's some women in that book who experience, you know, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of pain. And I felt like their story deserved a description. One of the ladies in there was my grade 7 teacher who, when I was a very, very young girl and I was pregnant and I was kind of lost and I didn't know where I was going, she really had my back. And
Yeah, right. You were pregnant. Let's just
my
back up a little bit.
yeah, my
Yeah.
grade 7 teacher, when I was pregnant, became my best friend. We are still best friends today. So I felt like it was an honor for me to put her in my book, considering she was the one that taught me how to write, how to read. She was the one that gave me motivation when, you know, at a time in my life, I could have just quit school. I could have just used being pregnant as an excuse to just, you know, not do it. But she kept on me. And to this day, we're really good friends. And I thought it was an honor to have her in my book. I'm like, imagine being a grade 7 teacher who is the goddaughter of my child,
Oh,
Destiny,
wow.
who is 24 years old. Okay. And you are now in my book. She is one of the devotional people in the book named Kelly Bartow.
That's
And so,
excellent.
and
That's
a lot
pretty
of these,
awesome.
and a lot of these women are real life women. They went through certain things. And I'm like, you're beautiful. You've been through it all. And adding them, I felt was an honor for me because they can share that with their children, with their mother, with their grandmother, and make them feel like they are, like for me, my book wasn't just about me rising to the top and feeling so amazing. I wanted to get other people in on it as well to feel just as good as I did as I was creating it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a real honor
And
for
you
your
know
grade
what?
7 teacher.
This clap is for your teacher, because not only that she just go to work, right? Go to work and teach. No, she actually
Got
took the
involved.
time to really focus on her pupils and really taught. That is a teacher.
Yeah, she believed in me at a time when I didn't really believe in myself. I've had several people in my life who have really believed in me when I did not believe in myself, when I didn't think I could keep going, when I didn't think I had the endurance, the power to even write. Like, I was so tired at one time just from the hustle and bustle of life and working and being a mother. And I didn't really want to write any more books. And my grandmother really encouraged me to write that book. My grandmother was 89 years old when I wrote that book. And when they called her for permission to write that book, she sat up in her chair and she was like, baby, they never called me yet. And like, I had to get permission to use her, you know, her pictures and everything. And she was so excited. She was just waiting for them. And she was like, I want you to publish this for me. So yeah, that's why I put her in the book, because I really didn't want to keep writing, but it's something that she really pushed me to do.
Yeah.
After Unfold Your Petals releases, I think I am done because I'm on 4 books now. But it was
Once
a
a
great
writer, always
pleasure.
a writer. I think I'll see more out of you. Sorry.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's nice for you to be here with us to share your journey on writing the book as we walk. I don't want to put it up too much because the glare is just horrible, but from my lights. Anyways, it's wonderful to have you on our channel, Toronto Talk Show, and I wish you all the success. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
we'll talk again because you got many more books.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, pick up a copy for your ladies. And ladies, if you have any struggles going on, check out As She Walked by Evangeline Cain. It's a wonderful piece. It's it's
Eventually,
it's
if they
it's not
wanted to get a copy,
overpowering, trust me. And it's the type of book I like that you could get through it, move on. And it's powerful, and I really enjoy it. Thank you.
It's an easy read. It's an easy read, but the questions are a bit hard. A lot of people that have given me reviews said that they stumbled on some of the questions, but the read itself is easy. It's just like sometimes if people ask me certain questions, I'm like, I don't know, I have to think about it, right?
Mhm.
So, but it's there to go at your own pace. There's no rush. You're not in a race to heal or find connection. It comes when it's supposed to.